Sonia. Welcome to this interview. I'm delighted to have you here and getting ready to come to Dublin. I'm thrilled to be doing one of our keynotes on a topic that should be very interesting, a partnership in the age of AI. What made you pick that?
Thanks, Ulrich. Thanks for the warm welcome. I'm excited that LocWorld is coming back to Dublin. So partnerships in the age of AI, for me, in the last 12 to 15 months, I'm watching the acceleration of AI and the impact on our industry, on our clients, on our own organization, on the industry at large. And I'm looking at this shift in terms of speed of adoption of AI. And I don't believe there's any company on the planet, whether you're on the supply side, the client side, or the technology side, that can provide every single solution at the speed and innovation at which it's needed. So partnerships for me have always been a core part of our industry. They're just evolving and changing in the age of AI. There's a different type of partnership. There's a different type of solution needed. There's a different speed, and there are other complexities to navigate. So I thought it was a super interesting topic for clients to look at how companies like Acolad accelerate AI adoption on their behalf, as well as for ourselves, and also for companies at large in our industry who are trying to figure out themselves, how do we accelerate? How do we take lessons, no matter what size we are, in terms of speeding up the solutions we have for success?
Well, thank you. And in that sense, partnership is defined differently, right? It's not just the client partnering with a vendor, but the vendor partnering with many other vendors and the client. Can you say something more about this, and what is
Yes.
Acolad doing? I think you've invited some of the companies that you're partnering with. So tell us more about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, it's a different type of partnership. So when we look at some of the needs to accelerate AI adoption for our customers and ourselves, we look at technology integration. We look at making AI a key part of content release, whether you're creating content, whether you're managing content, whether you're translating content, and everything in between. You look at things like machine translation and the acceleration of LLMs and RAG-based systems and what delivers the right result and why and how. You look at the need to integrate into multiple client systems. And to do that requires a massive investment in terms of technology, in terms of developers, in terms of workflow orchestration. So for us, looking at technology and integration partners that our clients trust was a key part of AI acceleration. So to make Acolad faster, stronger, better, more flexible, we looked at snapping on solutions, because the solutions we have today may not be enough for tomorrow. There may be 10 different ones, 15 different ones, 20 different ones. We're seeing the speed at which we're already releasing new AI solutions. So technology partnerships were key. Machine translation has evolved so much, and I find it really, really interesting having conversations about machine translation from some of the newer entrants to our market, where for me, machine translation existed since the 1930s, 40s, 50s. And then the advent of neural machine translation was the next major phase of that. I did my thesis on statistical versus non-statistical models. And
Oh,
when
really?
yeah, like a long time ago. And when NMT became the leading part of what we do in our industry, that was the first major shift in a long time. And now with LLMs, with RAG-based systems, it's evolving at speed. So the need for partnerships, for example, I talked about workflow orchestration and integration. One of our panelists comes from SnapLogic. And when I talk about the advances in machine translation, whether it's our acquisition of ubiquitous engines way back, whether it's one of our partners on the panel, DeepL, and how they've evolved from being a plug and play option to being an option at an enterprise level. We talk a little bit about what that looks like and why it's different to just basic machine translation. We talk about the evolution in the types of people you need to hire in your organization, types of skills you need to have, the types of challenges you face in terms of expectation versus reality, and the pragmatic applications to show impact and measure value. So I think whether you're a client, whether you're an LSP, whether you're a technology provider, partnerships in the age of AI open up a wealth of possibilities if done correctly. And it brings so much value to us at Acolad and also to our clients.
It sounds really, really complicated. It sounds also huge opportunities. What do you think will, if this is successfully executed, this vision, or that you're executing right now, what are some of the advantages? What will be better in the future than it has been?
I think orchestrating workflows will no longer have to be a high code development dependent thing. I think you can have low code, no code orchestration of workflows. That means you can create multiple workflows for multiple divisions and content types and solutions for your customers in a way that in the past you were heavily reliant on developers. I think developers will work differently on other value creation inside organization. I think the skill set of basic entry points into client and supply side organizations will include prompt engineering as a basic. The ability to understand and be able to prompt will become as easy and as straightforward as the ability to email. It'll take a little bit of time. There'll be some fear factors and all the things that go with evolution and revolution, but I think that will become the norm. I think conversations will move in terms of talking just about quality and workflows to talking about how you create content that impacts the business journey, the international business success. I think there will also be a bigger conversation about pricing and modeling in our industry, in the age of AI. I think there will also be conversations about the evolution of linguistic excellence and what that means. Linguists have always been at the heart of language. And I would hate to see a future where there's fear as opposed to opportunity to evolve further and to really continue to be a huge part of that human creativity and human in the loop. So I do think there'll be change, like with everything else in revolutions past, but I think that change is exciting and it will enable different types of roles inside organizations. I think the role of the globalization team at clients will also change. They'll become curators, they'll become gatekeepers of ethical AI, of AI applications, of quality assurance. Their roles will evolve and change in positive ways, in exciting ways. And I think there'll be new career paths for people entering as well as expanding in the industry.
Thank you. It sounds really exciting to me as well. It will be, there will be some nail-biting situations as we risk, and let's see if some of these things actually will work and some of them will not work. But overall, I think we'll look back at this in future, in 5 or 10 years' time, to look back at this period right now we're in and just we'll marvel at what came about and how it changed things all along. And it's exciting to be part of that goings on. So thank you very much for putting together that panel. I look forward to seeing you in Dublin and hear more about it. And hopefully lots of people will be in the room to participate and weigh in.
We're excited to start and continue the conversation.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ulrich.